So hello students and viewers, how are you all? I hope all of you are fine and safe. This is your Arindam sir and you are watching Revision Learning. So students, in our introduction class we have discussed about the chapter number 6, your major crops, that we will be discussing today. In this chapter we have discussed about what are the things we are going to learn, okay, the different types of crops and the different examples of those crops. Okay, today in this video we'll be focusing on the food crops. What are food crops, what are the different types of food crops and how they are grown, the growth process of those types of crops. So without wasting any time, let's start our today's video session. So the name of your chapter is Major Crops. And what are crops? In our last class also we have discussed that crops meets the basic requirement of the people, of the population. Crops are the plants grown by the farmers. As you know that agriculture plays a very important role in the Indian economy, and agriculture is the major occupation in the rural areas. Thus, the farmers and the rural people primarily depends on the cultivation of crops. Now, the cultivation of crops depends primarily on the weather and on the soil conditions, the fertility of the soil, the weather conditions, the climatic conditions, everything is calculated while growing a crop. Crops can be classified on the basis of use. Not like we know that there are types of crops like Rabi crops, Kharif crops, these things we know. But now we will discuss about that crops can be classified on the basis of their use. So after classifying or after dividing them, we can say that there are 4 types of crops like the food crops, fiber crops, commercial or cash crops and beverage crops. So today we'll discuss about the food crops. Now, what are food crops? So the crops or the plants grown for human consumption are called food crops. Food crops are required by us. It's required in our daily life, in our day-to-day life for our survival. Okay. Now, there are some types of food crops. Like for example, some of the examples we'll see. First example is wheat. Wheat is the staple food for more than 1/3 of the world's population. It's the basic food. It's one of the basic food, or you can say it's the basic staple food for more than 1/3 of the world's total population. Okay. Now, how wheat grows? Wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall during growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. You can see the picture of wheat here. Now it is said that wheat has a special quality. The quality is like this: while sowing the seeds or while sowing the wheat, it requires moderate temperature and a good amount of rainfall also. During its entire growing season, wheat requires a moderate temperature and rainfall. But when it is ripe, when it's the time for harvest, okay, so during that time it requires bright sunshine. That's why I said that wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall during the entire growth season, and when it's ripe, when it's a time for harvesting, then it requires bright sunshine at the time of harvest. Now in India, it is grown in winter. As I told you that in the moderate temperature and the good rainfall season, it needs during its sowing process, during its growing process. So in India, wheat is basically grown in the winter season, and it is extensively grown in the United States of America, Canada, Argentina, India, Australia, Russia, etc. Okay, so I think you are clear about this wheat. Now we will see the growth process of wheat, how wheat is grown. So for growing of a wheat, 50 to 70 centimeter of annual rainfall is required. So it's the basic thing that for growing a wheat, 50 to 70 centimeter of annual rainfall is required in that particular area where wheat it has to be grown. Best grows when temperature are about 20 degrees centigrade to 24 degrees centigrade. Okay, so with this line I think you are clear about at what temperature wheat needs to grow. It's in between the 20 to 24 degrees centigrade. Soil should be drained well, then clay, loamy with low humidity areas. That means the area where wheat is going to be grown, that area should be a low humidity area, and the soil where the wheat is sown, or where the wheat needs to be grown, or where the farmers are planning to grow wheats, that soil should be drained well, should be clayey, and should be loamy. So these are the basic requirements of wheat to grow. Okay, now necessary to use good quality seeds. Now it's very necessary to use good quality seeds that give high yields for wheat. Must be planted and harvested at correct time. So wheat must be harvested and planted at the correct time, and at the last point I've written, must be protected from insects, pests, etc. So these are some of the growth process of wheat, the requirements for growth of wheat. So I think you are clear about wheat. Basically, in the winter season, wheat is grown, as I told you, during the September to November month. During these months, it's grown. And in Canada, as I also told about one country where extensively wheat is grown in Canada. It is grown in the mid-April, from March to mid-April it is grown. So this is the time, or this is the basic time where wheat is grown, and in most of the developed countries wheat is grown in large farms, in an extensive quality, in a huge amount wheat is grown. So that's why it is told that it's the staple food for more than 1/3 of the world's population. Now after wheat, let's go to our second example, that is rice. Rice is a major food crop of the world. It's a staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. Now what are tropical and what are subtropical regions, you know, but why I have told you only the tropical and why subtropical? It's because if you can see this map, or you can see this position of the tropical and subtropical. So basically in the tropical regions, in both the side of the equator, in the tropical regions and in the subtropical regions, rice is mandatory. Rice is taken by almost everyone. Maybe the amount might be less, amount might be more. Somewhere the demand of rice is more, somewhere the demand of rice is less. But rice is almost taken in almost everywhere. So mostly in this tropical region and in the subtropical region, rice is taken. But why I have not said the polar region? Polar region I have not said because polar region people basically don't depend on the wheat or rice and all. They depends on the meat and all. So that's why in the polar region the demand of wheat is demand of rice is very less. Even wheat also, the demand of wheat, rice is very less. But in the tropical, subtropical regions, rice is the major food crop. Now mostly grown in April to May and harvested in early November. So this is the time when rice is grown and the rice is harvested. Needs hot and moist regions, high temperature, high humidity to grow well. So these are the basic requirements of rice to grow. What? It needs a very hot and very moist type of region, a moist type of environment. It should be in a very high humidity. It should have a very high humidity and it should have a very high temperature. Okay. Now China leads the production of rice, followed by India, Japan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Myanmar, Thailand. So again China defeated us. We are second, China is the first. So China leads in the production of rice. India is in the second position. And in India, the states like West Bengal, Bihar, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, some other states are also there like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha. In those states, basically rice is grown. In some other states also rice is grown, but the major rice or the major section of the rice is grown in these states that I told you. Okay. Now let's see the growth process of rice. Rice requires average temperature of 24 degrees centigrade. So it requires average temperature, moderate temperature you can say. It requires 100 centimeter to 200 centimeter of rainfall. This is mandatory for rice to grow, because every time you have seen that rice is grown in the clay type of soil. We'll read this in the third point, that it requires deep, fertile and clayey soils. So deep, fertile soil, the fertility level of the soil should be very high. The soil should be a clay soil, and there should be an ample amount of rainfall should be there. And lastly, it's highly labor intensive crop. Yes, it is a very high labor intensive crop. Why? Because it requires great preparation of soil, like plowing, irrigation, planting, weeding, harvesting, separation of grains and all. So many things are done to grow a rice, to make this rice an eatable product. So this is a very highly labor intensive product. It requires a great amount of care. Okay, and if the rice is not grown well, or if because of some reasons like flood and all, if the rice in a particular area doesn't grow well, then the entire hard work of the farmers would go in vain. So because of this reason, rice is called as the highly intensive labor crop. Okay, so I hope you are also clear about the rice. Now let's go to the millets. Now what are millets? Millets means sometimes like if you become sick, or sometimes in the morning, like those who are very nutrition based persons, or those who maintain a proper diet session, they take oats or they take dalia in the morning. So these are called the millets. Okay, so millets are known as the coarse grains and can be grown on less fertile and sandy soil. Coarse grains means in Hindi, if I tell you, then kacha anaj. So millets don't have the high demands like the rice or wheats. Wheats and rice have their own high demand. They need clay soil, they need this to this type of a temperature, the fertility level of the soil should be very good, like this. But millets don't have such type of things. It's known as the coarse grains, and it can be grown on very less fertile and sandy, even in the sandy soil also. So this is the basic or the primary characteristics of the millets. It needs low and adequate amount of rainfall also. So again, here also it's not like it need a heavy or the amount of rainfall that we have seen in case of rice only requires, or it needs a very low, or you can say an adequate amount of rainfall. Now some of the examples of millets are jowar, another name is sorghum; bajra, another name is bulrush; ragi, another name is buckwheat. All the pictures I have given here, you can see this one is jowar, this one is bajra, this one is ragi. Okay students, now the next is India is the world's largest producer of millets. So this is very interesting that India, among the other countries, India is the world's largest producer of millets. Now if you go to the growth process or the requirements of growth for millets, then we can see that it can grow, as I told you, it can grow or it can survive in unfavorable conditions. The conditions might be not favorable as compared to rice or wheats. Wheats and rice requires favorable condition, but in case of millets, if the condition is unfavorable also, then also it can grow. So it requires, or it can even survive in unfavorable conditions. And again, I told you earlier that it requires adequate amount of rainfall or low rainfall, and the temperature should be like from 25 degrees centigrade to 35 degrees centigrade. So in between the 25 to 35 degrees centigrade, it can stay easily, and it don't requires any favorable conditions. Now some wild and cultivated species of millets also exists in Western Africa. Some wild species and some cultivated species of millets are also available in Western Africa, but India is the world's largest producer of millets. So I think you are all clear about the millets. Now we'll move to our fourth example of food crops. Our fourth example is maize. Now maize is, the word maize basically is derived from a Spanish word M-A-I-Z, maize, which means the plant. Okay, and it is also called as the sweet corn in British Isles. Maize every one of us have taken. We have eaten maize. Almost everyone in the entire country have eaten maize. Maize is it's one of our favorite food, you can say. Okay, now it's grown basically in the North and South America, Brazil, India, Indonesia, Mexico. USA and China lead in the production of maize. So here India is lagging behind. USA and China leads in the production of maize. It is widely grown in the Americas as a food and fodder crop. Okay, and it is also used for manufacturing ethanol, then cornflakes, animal feed, and all these things are made with the help of maize. Now let's see the growth process of maize. Now for the growth process of maize, it requires moderate temperature, rainfall, and lots of sunshine. So here it has some demands, you can say. It needs moderate temperature, it needs a good amount of rainfall, and lots of sunshine. It grows at an high altitude of 2500 meter above sea level. So it grows at a very high altitude of 2500 meter. It requires a well drained soil, and it requires a warm climate, and the temperature conditions should be in between the 21 degrees centigrade to 28 degrees centigrade. Okay, now the growth depends more on high summer temperature. So for maize, high temperature, high summer temperature is required. Requires large amounts of water during the growing process or growing period. Requires large amounts of water during the growing period. So it requires large amount of water during the entire growing period, and its average maturing period is relatively short, making its cultivation possible at fair high altitudes. So today you can say that the world harvests maize as much as the wheat. The amount of the cultivation of wheat and maize is almost common in the present world. So students, I hope that you have understood the maize also, and with this we are clear, or we have discussed our 4 examples from the food crops. Okay, the examples we have discussed today were wheat, rice, maize and millets. So I hope students you have understood about the 4 examples of food crops. In our next class, in our next session, we will be discussing about the fiber crops. So students, with this I have to wrap up our today's session, our today's class. If you have liked my explanation, then please like this video, share it to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe Revision Learning and press the bell icon so that you never miss any of our classes, any of our sessions, any of our updates. So students, with this it's time to say goodbye. Take care, keep studying, and we'll meet in our next class. Thank you.